Hi guys, I'm the Infamous, and today we're going to be taking a look at Vivian's W engines, cinemas, teams, and more. Now, I'll have chapters so you guys can skip to a part you guys like, but I'd recommend watching the whole way through just to make sure you guys are getting the best out of your Vivian. Now, with that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Vivian is the Ether Anomaly Agent, the second ever Ether DPS in the game, aside from Zhu Yuan. Now, what that means is, because she's an Anomaly Agent, she is fairly easy to build when it comes to W engines. We all know that essentially every Anomaly Agent only really needs 4 things, 1 being Anomaly Buildup, 2 being Anomaly Proficiency, 3 being Attack, and 4 being Energy. Now, the good thing about her signature is the fact that 1, we're getting Anomaly Buildup rate, 2, we're getting Anomaly Proficiency, and 3, she's getting even more Anomaly Proficiency because of the stacks. Now, there's 2 downsides. 1, she doesn't really have any attack percentage built into her, and she doesn't have any actual energy. But the good thing about her passive, which I'll be getting into later in the video, is that you guys can just proc with quick assists. You guys don't need energy in her. But regardless, point being, she has a lot of anomaly buildup and a proficiency. Now, her second best in slot would obviously be the battle pass option. If you guys don't have this, I will have another option for you guys, but this is her second best in slot. 1, you're getting attack percent, 2, you're getting damage increase, and you're also getting anomaly proficiency. This is fairly good. The only downside again is that you're not getting energy and you're not getting anomaly buildup rate. Obviously, her signature is going to be better, but this is a pretty close second best in slot. Now, the last best in slot that I would recommend is Gemini. She's getting attack percent built in, and she also has anomaly proficiency again. Now, again, she's only lacking in the energy department and the buildup percentage. But this Weeping Gemini, you can get completely for free with full advancements. Now, a lot of people might be considering Rainforest Gourmet, but like I was saying earlier, you're not going to really want to use too much energy with her. Most of the times, this passive won't even be procced. So though you guys do get a decent amount of attack, it's just better to go for the Weeping Gemini. You're going to be able to get the full passive more consistently, and you guys already have the built-in attack permanently. So if I were to recommend one of the 2 free to plays, I would say Weeping Gemini first. But if we're just going to be obviously her signature is her best in slot. When taking a look at Vivian's drive discs, we are fairly lucky because she actually got a brand new dedicated best in slot. Her 2-piece will give Anomaly Mastery, and her 4-piece will give Anomaly Proficiency, and if somebody else on field uses an EX special aside from her, you will even get ether damage. Now, the 2-piece is fairly universal. Literally any anomaly unit can make use of it, but the 4-piece is obviously dedicated to her because it's giving ether damage. Now, since we know this is obviously going to be her best in slot for the 4-piece, but for 2-piece, I would recommend going for Anomaly Proficiency just so she can have a little more extra damage. You guys could low-key get away with running attack percent and energy regen, but I would consider this to be her best in slot option. Now, when it comes to substats, it's fairly simple. Anomaly Proficiency, attack percent, and pen ratio. There's not really anything else you guys would want on her. I would say some defensive subs would be decent, but this unit actually likes being off field. So defensive subs actually is pretty useless. It's not really that good. So again, if you guys can get anomaly proficiency and attack percent, that is like the main focus. When it comes to main stats though, for disc 4, anomaly proficiency, disc 5, ether damage or attack percent would work either fine. And then the last one is obviously going to be anomaly mastery. When it comes to Vivian's cinemas, the more cinemas you guys get, the more she can actually become a viable on-field DPS. For the first cinema, it makes it easier for her to get her full passive simply because you could actually get a flight feather, and she becomes a better support in the sense that all anomaly damage and disorder damage when she's off-field getting her full passive will actually be increased by 16%. That is pretty goddamn good. Now, looking at her second cinema, ether damage obviously is attributed to her, and this, I'm assuming, is applied for everybody. 15% all attribute res is ignored is pretty goddamn crazy. Now, a bloom is obviously just her own personal damage, but regardless, this 15% all attribute res ignore is insane. Another really good support buff. Now, 4 is where I start feeling like this is more so her own damage boost. Again, guard feathers means that you immediately get the full passive for her off-field support, and then always critting on hit. Critting on any attribute is insane. I know we had that for Jane Doe and it wasn't too shocking, but if you're critting off-field, this is obviously going to be very good. Another thing that kind of reminds me of Jane Doe is the attack boost, except this actually stacks. It looks like it lasts for 12 seconds. It guarantees crits, and then immediately you get your full passive. Pretty insane, but it is on the 4th cinema, so not too shocking. On the 6th, this literally screams on field now. Ether damage increased again. When hitting a basic attack, you get 1 additional stack of flight feather, meaning that you could actually viably stay on field if you get this consistently enough. Consumes all guard feathers. The downward attack increases its effect on hit. Again, I'm assuming this means that she can actually nuke, because now with the 4 cinema, you're gonna actually be critting on that hit as well. I don't know. To me, it screams that she's now officially a on-field DPS. If you guys really like Vivian, if you guys have the money for it, if you guys really like the character, character and you guys want to see more of her, she looks to be an on-field DPS once you guys get 6 cinemas. Is that shocking? No, it's cinema 6. I don't ever recommend anyone spend, but if you guys really like the character and you guys want her on field, Cinema 6 wouldn't be that bad. When it comes to Vivian's teams, it's the easiest character to build. The best character in the game, in my opinion, happens to be Asriel, getting healing, energy, attack, quick assist, chain attacks. She is just so good universally. She's obviously going to be in here. Another good thing is that she also happens to be Ether, so her giving off-field support and applying her own anomaly buildup is pretty good because it just means overall it's going to be easier to proc anomaly off-field because again, they're both off-field Ether agents. Now, besides these two obviously being the best in slots for her own team, since she's an off-field support, you're going to want an on-field driver. Now, another crazy thing is, besides Jane Doe being a good option, right, we happen to have the best on-field anomaly agent in the game. She also seems to be the best DPS in the game, and that is obviously going to be Miyabi. Now, easily with a landslide, this is her best in slot team. Miyabi, best DPS in the game, Asriel, best support in the game. Putting them together, getting full passives unlocked, obviously this is going to be her best in slot team. Now, I'm kind of curious because usually Miyabi is going to want Yanagi. Right now, we don't know who's going to be better, but in most content, everybody has ice and ether strengths or weaknesses, I mean. So these two actually get the full penetration boost. They're both ignoring type res because they both happen to be ether and ice. Nobody really has electric weakness unless it's specifically catered to a robot boss, which we don't have that much anymore, at least, you know. So again, we'll see what team is actually better, but as of right now, this is obviously going to be Vivian's best in slot team. When taking a look at Vivian's kit, it is pretty complex when compared to other anomaly characters, just because it's not really just spam left click anymore. There's actually a bar and different terminology in this character. Pretty cool to see. Haven't seen it in a minute, but regardless, point is she's a pretty cool character. If you guys take a look at the bar on the top left, you guys can see that 2 orbs are marked pink in the middle and then the 3 are marked black. What that essentially means is we don't have anything built up whatsoever. Now, a good way to build it up is by 1, quick assist, or 2, being on field and doing a full chain attack of basics. For example, as you guys can see right here, I did 3 attacks, and with the pink in the middle, I can actually fly. Now, let's say I actually finish that combo. Now the orbs are fully built up. The actual terminology for this is when it was pink prior, those are considered float feathers, which that means is when you guys do a full combo, you guys can stay in the air for a limited amount of time. Now, when I do that downward attack, that spiral attack, it is now considered a guard feather. Now, what these fully built up orbs do, aka the guard feathers, this allows me to switch to Miyabi or any other character that you guys are using for anomaly buildup, and you guys can actually apply your attribute off field even when you guys are using a different character. For example, I just applied freeze or frostburn, whatever you guys want to call it, and I just applied a bloom. And if you guys check at Vivian's bar, even though she's not on field right now, I actually used one of the guard feathers. Now I'm going to apply the attribute again, just so I can show you guys an example. As you guys can see, I procced the same thing again, and I used another orb from Vivian. Now, the reason why we have Asriel on the team was basically what I was trying to say earlier. We can actually proc guard feathers and float feathers with quick assist. The best part about Asriel is that she gives both chain attacks, healing, quick assist, etc. But the main use case right here is actually going to be the quick assist. For example, as you guys can see right here, she's standing still. I'm not clicking anything. If I press left click and then go in, I immediately get a float feather, meaning that I can do a downward spiral. And when I do my downward spiral, I actually get 2 guard feathers immediately. It is easy as hell to make use of it and very simple, simply because Asriel is on field. Now, another thing we can do is we can actually make use of our skill to build up as well. If I click my EX special, I immediately get 2, and then I do the full combo to get an extra guard feather. Now, again, that's easy as hell to build up her passive, and now I can go switch to a different character and I can apply the attribute off field. Very, very simple. You guys get hella damage off field. She's basically Bernice on crack. That's basically the best way I can put it. She's Bernice, but better, you know? Very, very easy to build. Very, very good passive. Just like I was saying for Vivian's quick assist, building up her full passive, chain attacks also apply in the same vein. If you guys check really quick on the top right corner, you guys can see that Vivian actually has 1 orb. Now, if I were to quickly, you know, apply the chain attack, You guys can see that she built up a little more of her passive just by doing a chain attack. Very simple, very easy to build up. Now, another very easy way she could fully build up her passive is by using her ultimate. And when I build up the bar, I will show you an example of that. As you guys can see, I tried my best to not build up anything on Vivian just so I can make an example of the ultimate being used. But point is, if you guys don't have any bar built up at all and you guys have your ultimate, you guys can pop it and your ultimate can bail you out and get full passive. Not 3 orbs, not 2 orbs, but all 5 orbs. Again, kind of absurd that she's able to apply that easy attribute off field, but I mean, regardless, that's quite literally her purpose, right? Now, just because she's an off-field support and that's literally what she's made to do, is she the best at it? I would currently say, as of right now, yes, simply because of her typing. The fact that she's an Ether DPS really does help. If Bernice were an Ether DPS, honestly, I would argue that she's better than Vivian, even though her kit is just overall lower multipliers and lower damage in comparison to Vivian. Honestly though, it's simply because of the fact that Vivian is Ether that she's gonna have a lot more value. Basically every boss in this game is Ether weak and Ice weak, so the fact that she's gonna be working with the best character in the game right now, you know, it really does help a lot, as much as people would want to make excuses for her. Now regardless, I think she's very good. I think if you guys want Vivian, you guys are not going to have any regrets pulling for her. But if you guys do not want her, don't feel forced to pull her, because honestly, Bernice does her job just fine. You guys don't need her. If you guys want an upgrade to her, I mean, yeah, Vivian is right there. She's going to be a good upgrade. But again, don't feel forced to pull for her. Now, I'm going to show you guys some gameplay for her, because I think she's overall very good, and I like showing gameplay for every character without me yapping, you know? So regardless, if you guys want to stay tuned to see a little more Vivian gameplay, you guys can see it right now. Hi guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For those that have been watching me for a while, I know you guys know how excited I am, because I haven't gone for any DPSs and I've been wanting an Ether DPS for a while. We haven't had any other DPS since Zhu Yuan, and Zhu Yuan came out in 1.0. So you guys can just imagine how excited I am. The fact that we finally got an anomaly agent that happens to be Ether. You know, in general, I would have been happy with her regardless, but the fact that she is Ether definitely makes me happier. Now 2.0 anniversary is coming up. The character happens to be neither a DPS nor a anomaly agent, so I'm pretty excited to see what that character is going to be about. Doesn't have any typing that we've ever seen before. I might actually pull for her just because of that, so stay tuned for that. 2.0 ZZZ looks very exciting. I also have a caster's video because I've gotten idle on 2 and I want to showcase her comparisons just like I did for Firefly. She's my second ever DPS, so again, pretty excited for that. And I also want to talk about ZZZ's best team, because right now it's either between Vivian or Yanagi. Right now the best in slot 2 units are obviously going to be Ashraya and Miyabi, but I want to do a comparison between the two teams just because honestly they're both insane. Now if you guys want to watch that, if you guys are excited as much as I am, stay tuned. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.